And Democratic strategist Kurt Bardella, who served as senior advisor to Republicans on the House Oversight Committee from 2009 to 2013 before leaving the GOP in 2017. Kurt, let me start with you. Wait, where's your Fetterman hoodie and denim? I thought we had a deal, Kurt.
Hey, that's only when we're talking country music and Leland.
Okay, deal. You get a pass this time. Let me start with you. You've worked on both sides of the aisle here. How do we move forward? We have until November 17th. That's when the next government shutdown threat is looming. So this fight is about to be rekindled all over again. Can American voters trust Republicans to govern if internal disputes are causing these unprecedented disruptions in Congress? I mean, where do we go from here?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately for the American people, the answer is no. I mean, you look at what sequence of events kind of was a straw that broke the camel's back for McCarthy's speakership. It was that he cut a deal to prevent a government shutdown. He cut a deal to allow the United States government to continue operating. Funding the government is kind of like the fundamental job responsibility of being a member of the United States Congress. So if fulfilling that basic obligation costs you your leadership position, if fulfilling your basic job function is the reason why government gets grinded to a halt and Republicans decide to throw out their speaker, well, then what does that say to the rest of the American people? Like, there's just no interest in governing. The people who threw out McCarthy are mad because he did something that helped them govern. I don't think that's going to get any better going forward.
Yeah, and mad because he reached across the aisle. You know, McCarthy lost the speakership essentially because he worked with House Democrats to avoid this shutdown, which I find rich because isn't that a campaign platform used by so many lawmakers? You know, I'll reach across the aisle. Teamwork makes the dream work. It's what a lot of voters say they want too. Yet when he reached across the aisle, he got the gavel, knocked out of his hands. So, Rena, can anyone willing to reach across the aisle to pass legislation even win this race?
Well, right now, the moment we're sitting in is that we're barreling towards yet another government shutdown. This would be, if it happens, the 22nd government shutdown in 5 decades. And I think that's just completely illustrative of how dysfunctional Congress has been in this era. It's just one of those things that we have come to accept as Americans, is that Congress doesn't work for us. I've heard a different thing from some of the members, particularly Congressman Burchett from Tennessee, who said he's been sent with an edict from his constituents to curb Washington's appetite for our taxpayer dollar. So these 8 people that voted against Kevin McCarthy kind of had their own reasons. Let's not forget who was not with them. Not Marjorie Taylor Greene, not Lauren Boebert. Yep. So not all of the chaos caucus, as they've been dubbed. But one thing that's in particularly fascinating, I think, about how the road forward looks right now is that you've got 2 people that aren't exactly moderate in gunning for the speakership right now. Scalise would have been a number of years ago, but he and Jordan now look about the same if you look at them on their face. I think Jordan obviously goes more for the culture wars. He's into the political theater of Congress, always kind of has been. But Scalise can be seen as a steady hand, a bit of a continuation of McCarthy. He's got loyalists and his staff around him, which Kurt and I both know is incredibly important, having served in the body. When you've got loyalty for a man like Scalise in the roles he's served in leadership so far, that allows you to augment the whipping operation. And that's important for any speaker, to not just have a solid one, but really to have somebody that has full control, because this is what we saw happen this past week. No control, lack of trust, and too many concessions made. That was the nail in the coffin for Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, I know. Also on this short list, Kevin Hern of Oklahoma was being considered. Also, some hardline Republicans have said they'd come forward and nominate former President Donald Trump. We all watched him, though, address that yesterday outside the courthouse, saying he's focusing on the presidency right now. Last couple seconds and last question from both of you. Who do you think the next Speaker of the House is going to be? Kurt, I'll start with you and then end with Rena.
I mean, I do think it's going to be Steve Scalise. I think that having the leadership team that he has in place, he has a tactical advantage. But again, Jim Jordan, what's going to be very interesting here is, 1, does Donald Trump weigh in on this and all endorse a candidate? 2, Kevin McCarthy's operation, I hear, is secretly trying to help Jim Jordan, making calls for Jordan, whipping votes for Jordan. So, I mean, it can be anybody's guess. If the one thing we know about this Republican conference is that conventional wisdom can just get thrown out the door.
Yeah. Rena, final thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's a sense that Jim Jordan might be able to repair the animus between the two factions in the GOP. I don't know that anybody can do that. It's looking likely for Scalise, but if I could just be honest, I think it should be a woman, and I think it should be moderate. I'm not saying Elise Stefanik, but maybe, hey, what about Congresswoman Nancy Mace? She was the only woman amongst those 8, and she doesn't have the I alone can fix it mentality that I think McCarthy took on from Trump.
Okay, well, that's a whole, Rena, you keep dropping bombs at the end of our segments here, which calls for a whole new conversation. We'll have you back on soon to discuss maybe some female candidates. Rena Shaw, Kurt Bardella, thanks so much. Hopefully bipartisanship in Washington can be saved eventually.
Or resuscitated.
Yeah.